What's up, everybody, and welcome to Bradenton, Florida. I just did a video about a Walmart in Lakewood Ranch and how they lost about 30% of their employees. So in order to have your work permit revoked, you would have to have legal status. You have to have so obviously the people that are leaving now that lost their jobs is because their work permits were revoked. Now, work permits were issued by the US government. In order to work in the United States, you have to have a work permit. Without a work permit, you cannot work. So this Walmart here in particular is the closest to the Haitian community. So I'm gonna guess there's gonna be a lot of Haitians here. But this Walmart usually gets really packed. Last time I was at this Walmart, it was probably like 80% Hispanic. It doesn't look too chaotic here like the one in Lakewood Ranch. I know about 30% of the workers there were Haitians or people on temporary status. So a lot of those people lost their work permits. If you care to be educated, in order to lose your work permit, you would first have to be legal in the United States. You know, you don't get a work permit by coming in the United States illegally. In fact, if you come illegal, you can't get a work permit. So this is the Walmart on 301 and 53rd. And this Walmart's usually a complete madhouse, but it's very quiet today. Obviously, like the most noticeable thing to me today right now is that this store is practically empty. So I would just venture and say that this particular Walmart is doing all right. But the one in Lakewood Ranch where I live definitely has seen the impact. All right, guys, so apparently now you can buy a golf cart at Walmart with snowflake wheels. This is a Coleman at that. So yeah, that's the situation here at this Walmart. It's actually pretty chill. A very important decision was made here: bras or donuts. Made at Charlie's. These things are popping up inside of Walmarts all over Florida. I don't know about where you live, but they're all over here. And I went to the one at the other Walmart in West Bradenton, and the workers are all Cuban, so we're gonna try it for the first time. This is Charlie's that's inside of Walmart's now. I've never had it before. This is really our first time trying it. It doesn't look very appetizing at all. There's candies right there. It doesn't look appetizing. Gonna go for it?
Yes.
So it's a really great community here. I love Bradenton. Like, the people out here are just so... I've been in Bradenton now, the Bradenton area, for almost 3 years, and I really love this place. The people here are just incredible. Everybody gets along, hardworking people. It's just a really pleasant place to be. Like, everybody here just gets along. I mean, crap, like, you walk in and, you know, you're dancing salsa music with the employees. So it's an incredible community. I love it here, and it's really good people. I remember when I used to live in Lehigh, the Walmart there was a complete madhouse because Lehigh is kind of like a food desert. Out here, there's like a lot. Like, I think there's Walmart here, and then just like 4 miles that way is another Walmart. 3 miles that way is another Walmart. 3 miles that way is another Walmart. So yeah, there's definitely places to shop in the Bradenton area. So as is typical for Bradenton, there's panhandlers all the time here. So here you also have, like I said, scammers, people who pretend to be homeless or pretend to be disabled when they're not. I know a lot of the homeless people in this area, so I talk to them. And this is an intersection where there's a lot of finesse. There is a panhandling ordinance in Manatee County that you can be fined or arrested for, but it doesn't really get enforced. I've never seen anybody get arrested. You can see that there's somebody cutting the grass here, the easement, right? And what I've noticed here in Manatee County is that even the county, the cities, and even the police stations are mowed by people who are undocumented. A small one-bedroom is about $1,700 here in this community, and I'm in here all the time because of my Uber driving. I actually know a few people in here as well. This community is mostly going to be Haitians for the most part, lots of Haitians. And the crazy thing about this community is that they are known to have, and the roach infestation in their apartment is so bad that they have to spray chemicals on their person, on their clothes. It's really horrific. This guy hates me because I asked him if I could do a video in the homeless camp behind the apartments one time, and he doesn't like me. The guy with the beard, he hates me. But anyways, yeah, the family that I recently had here, they were showing me how like they have to spray, and that's not the way you're supposed to use that product. They have to spray roach killer on their clothes, on their shoes and book bags, and all their personal belongings to try to deter the cockroach infestation. And I'm extraordinarily sensitive to rat poison and cockroach poison, and them getting in the car made me get sick. I was coughing and choking because they reeked of Raid. And it's because there's so many cockroaches in these apartments. And go figure, a 1-bedroom in here starts at around $1,700. So imagine you're paying $1,700 a month to live in these apartments, and you're literally dealing with a uncontrollable rat infestation. I mean, a roach infestation. One of the reasons why there's so much inventory right now in Florida is because many people are having to sell their homes so they can return back to their home country. So this area of Onico here has a lot of people from Haiti, Vietnam, Dominican Republic, Cuban, Honduran, Salvadoran, just a little bit of everything. So let's take a ride through here and see if we can see any houses for sale. So this house right here is for sale, and it's just really rare to see houses for sale in these neighborhoods. But you can see the house next door is actually a train wreck. They got cars on the grass, kind of overgrown. So 2 or 3 years ago, you wouldn't see a house for sale in this particular neighborhood. But unfortunately, it's become really common to see houses for sale. They're building something back here. I'm not sure what it is. Oh, I love the square. Oh, this is the new school, right? This is the school they're building. So this is an elementary school that they're building here, right off of 53rd. They're not building it, they're remodeling it. Anybody in Onico knows where I'm at right now. This is the famous squirrel mailbox icon of Onico. You can see here, this is kind of like they got somebody living in a camper back there. A new house just got built right here. It's been really slow to build. I'm not sure why it took so long to build that house, but that house is being built forever down there. Welcome to Onico. Whether you're black or a Chico, I send you a Chico. My love. I hope you guys like it. So this is Onico. This is kind of on the outskirts of Bradenton, and I'm going to guess there's going to be a lot of for rent signs in this community. What are you looking at? Alright guys, so let's take a little ride down Onico here. You can see 4 o'clock, there's a lot of traffic, a lot of people work in Sarasota, and then they drive through here back on their way to Bradenton. So this is kind of a working class neighborhood, lots of apartments around here. It's just not the type of place you'd want to rent. It's just an extraordinarily high crime rate. They arrest the homeless people, but they come back. You know, this is just the type of neighborhood that has always had a huge homeless problem. And then, of course, you know, the food truck scene here. I mean, for one, there's just too many food trucks. But without a doubt, a lot of them are losing. They're losing customers because there just isn't enough. There just aren't enough people. Even people who are legally U.S. citizens, if they have a dark complexion, are afraid of going out. Las muchachas de Onico, las muchachas de Onico, no se lavan el hocico. Las muchachas de Onico, no se lavan el hocico. Oh, there's road construction here. A lot of people that are U.S. citizens are literally afraid to be out and about if their complexion's brown, because after all, nothing but police profiling is the method that they're using to make these detentions. And for the most part, that means that people are literally afraid, even if they're legal in the United States, to go out and about, because, you know, police profiling. They're just detaining people, and they're doing it just to humiliate people. And yeah, you're just you're just outside a store minding your own business, and all of a sudden somebody comes and attacks you. There's actually been a reported abduction here in Bradenton and Palmetto. I don't have time to go that way today because it'll take me all day to drive up there. But there was recently a recorded abduction in Palmetto. And so when you have people that cover their faces, don't wear badges, don't identify, sometimes they're working in vehicles that are unmarked. How do you know it's not an abduction? People are really afraid. Yeah, buddy. Check out the reviews for these apartments over here, Danny.
Well, I can tell you somebody has put on a tag that calls it Bradenton.
Bradenton.
And it's rated 2.1.
It's rated 2.1?
Out of 15 reviews.
How is that even possible?
I know, right?
That is too low. I haven't had it yet, but my subscribers keep telling me that this is a really great Mexican restaurant. We gotta try it sometime. Normally there's 10 people sitting outside eating. There's nobody there right now. So you'll see a lot of food trucks out here. I'm not really a fan of any of these. I'm looking for some good agua fresca.
Maybe these folks across the way.
Yeah, on a day like today, a good agua fresca wouldn't hurt. There's one place over here as well. So yeah, our rents are going up, so we've been looking for more affordable places. Katie, that's rated 2.1?
Yeah.
Go figure. I mean, and it's probably, what, only $500 a month cheaper than where we are now? At best.
I didn't even look at it. It was so bad.
This corner store, I think they closed. Like, there's nothing going on
here.
This corner store looks like it closed down. You can see a for rent sign in front of these apartments right here. This one right here is for sale. This one right here is a for sale by owner. Sir, excuse me, sir. You cannot have chickens on the road. So what's happening is that people will put a property for sale, and the realtor will come and say, hey man, this is only worth $250,000, and that's if you're lucky, because there's a lot of inventory. So like, people are like, no, it's worth $500,000. I'm gonna sell myself. This one right here is for sale. So the reason why there's so many for sale by owners now is because, you know, they talk to a realtor, and the realtor's like, hey man, this is the current market right now. You're not going to get what you think you're going to get. So then they try to list it themselves, thinking that they can bypass the realtor who refuses to sell the house for what it's worth. But what they don't realize is those realtors are already sitting on 50 properties that haven't sold, and the chances that the house is going to sell with a realtor is hard, but it's even more difficult to sell without a realtor, because at least the realtor understands what the market looks like, but you don't. So it's definitely quite a situation out here. But yeah, I think this explosion of for sale by owners right now, it's just nothing more than people who think they're going to get a crap load of money for a house, not realizing that right now there's an explosion of inventory, and they may not see that in their neighborhood, but if you're out and about like we are, you know that there's just an explosion of real estate everywhere. And a lot of it's not even on the MLS, because it's people that are selling it themselves. Here you got a police officer versus homeless scenario unfolding right there. Yeah. I guess, let me see. All right, buddy, so here we have a Manatee County Sheriff's Office versus homeless situation going down. So there's a new law in Florida where you got to keep back 25 feet. So we're just we got to stay back 25 feet. It's a new law in Florida. Now, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office, their records department is horrendous. So they're kind of blocking the sidewalk, so I'm gonna have to walk around the outside here so we're not in their face. But yeah, the records department, if I were to ask for body cam, it would take months for them to do it. So the irony. So we have to stay 25 feet away from them. So it looks like they're gonna give her a break. But huge problem with homelessness in this area. Obviously the problem with homelessness in Bradenton is just out of control. And you know, a lot of times homeless people do get arrested, so we just gotta keep our distance and see what happens. Looks like they're gonna be rolling out. But homelessness is a huge problem here in Manatee County, particularly Bradenton. And the records department takes months to produce footage when there's an arrest, so it's fairly difficult. Where in Sarasota, for example, you can get the footage fairly quickly from that county over there. But that is the situation here in Bradenton. Obviously, this area continues to have a huge homeless problem, and Pasa, primo. So one of the biggest problems we've looked at too with these apartments that are affordable that we're finding, right, is that when we look through these prices, it's like, what? I'm gonna pay $1,800 to live in an apartment complex where most of the time you have a homeless camp right on the perimeter, which means your car is constantly getting broken into. Never-ending roach infestations. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think these are low-income apartments here. So these right here, you have to be low-income to qualify. All right, so this neighborhood wants you to know that they snitched right off the whip, man. So the city of Sarasota, if I request body cam footage from homeless arrests, and I've done quite a few, I get them in a few weeks at most, and the fees are reasonable. So in Bradenton, Manatee County, man, not only is the fee just abnormally high, probably at least twice what Sarasota would be, but the wait time, I mean, last time I ordered something from them, it took a good 7 months before we got it. So you'll see these signs just about everywhere in Florida, and that's because of the massive homeless problem. It's obvious that there's a huge homeless problem in this area by the fact that there's those signs everywhere. So yeah, you can tell by the abundance of those signs in this neighborhood that there's a huge homeless problem here. And what are the cops going to do with an elderly disabled woman that's homeless? Are they going to arrest her for having to lay down on a sidewalk? I mean, it's horrendous the stuff you see out here in Bradenton, man. And you know, most police officers, from my experience, treat the homeless very well. I don't think there's really the worst case scenario with that here in this area. In other parts of Florida it's different, but here I feel like you know, everybody just does their job well and treats them with dignity. But it's kind of a difficult situation because what do you exactly do with the vast homeless population here in Bradenton? I mean, a lot of them are disabled, mental problems. Some of them are elderly. You know, now the state laws require police officers to arrest people just for being homeless. I mean, what do you do when you have just a problem in your community with no solution in sight? But you know, despite all the poverty and crime and problems that we're facing here in Bradenton, I absolutely love the people here. The issue with homelessness here, it doesn't seem to have an end. I mean, you know, they arrest some people, they come back, they'll clean up a neighborhood temporarily, but then it all goes back to being the same thing. A temporary band-aid on what is, for this community, a very persistent problem. Homelessness, addiction. A lot of them are from here, a lot of them are from other states, and they ended up here. Blessing, compa. On this one.
It takes two.
It takes two.
Make a thing go right. It takes two to make it out of sight.
I got recognized yesterday at the Sam's, and then I got recognized 4 times, I think, during my live stream. The live stream, in 20 minutes in downtown Sarasota, 4 people recognized me. Yesterday I was at Sam's and somebody recognized me, and then I was at the Walmart and somebody had recognized me. It's just somebody sitting there with an umbrella. So sad. We gotta find a good agua fresca place around here. If you see one that looks good, let me know.
I got recognized at the grocery store.
You got recognized last week at the grocery store, and when I was doing my Walmart video, I got a message 9 minutes later, like, "Hey, I was at the Walmart and I thought I saw you. I was just, they didn't want to say hi." Like, I don't know if they whatever.
Yeah.
But pretty weird. Like, I've been recognized that I know of, because there's people that recognize you that won't say anything.
Yeah.
But that they know of. Like, it said hello, 6 people in the last week have recognized me. So we get so much love out here. And it's not just like, okay, we recognize it's like, you know, your videos have made a difference in our lives, or, you know, whatever. Like, there's always a real positive context to the situation. We gotta find a good agua fresca before we go home. It's hot. I think the one right here might be it. I think it might be this one right here. What do you think? Let's try this one right here. I'm gonna pull around facing that way, because the one on the left, they're not any good. Last time we tried them. And by the way, I got dearly sick last time I got agua fresca on the street here, so it's kind of risky.
Yeah.
It's a risky endeavor. We should just start making our own versus like buying them from places that are gonna make you sick.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know.
Do I have any cash? Give me my cash.
I don't feel alright on the inside. I don't feel alright on the inside. I don't feel alright on the inside. I did not realize you were filming this.
What happened?
I probably was talking to myself and listening to music.
Before we get going.
Okay.
Isn't that the sweetest you've ever had? So fresh.
It's so good.
Oh
And
my.
you can tell there's no sugar in it.
Oh no, it's natural. That's pure water. That's pure watermelon water.
Mm-hmm.
See if we can get up out of here. Yeah, that's like pure watermelon water. There's no added sugar or nothing. That's just the way it comes from the watermelon.
Yeah.
This is the time of year where it's good. Oh yeah, so freaking excited. I am happy to have it. Make sure it doesn't spill, okay?
Yeah.
Dude, these watermelon juices are so freaking good. Back here in Oneiko, there's a lot of Haitians too. When I first moved here, there weren't too many Haitians. There's a lot of them now, so I'm gonna guess most of them are gonna be on temporary status. You can't really help but feel bad for people who, you know, they're here, they get their work permit, they get their paperwork in order, they're on their pathway to become legal, and then they revoke their papers. That's brutal. They sold them a dream that didn't exist. King Tacos. But anyway, she was telling me like she in Chile she had free bus service everywhere, very affordable bus service. They have like one of the best bus. She's like every 5 minutes there's a bus everywhere you are. And on top of the buses, she said that she didn't have to learn a different language because she already spoke Spanish from Haiti, and in Chile they speak Spanish. So you know, Chile, Parawai, Uruguay. I know Parawai offers. I couldn't believe how easy it is to become a citizen of Parawai. Parawai will give you within 3 months a work permit type of paperwork, and then within 2 years you can be a resident, and in 4 years you can be a citizen. You can just go to Parawai and become a Paraguayan. Would you like to be a Paraguacho? Or a Paraguacha, Katie?
I don't know. We'll see how things go here.
Would you like to be a Paraguacho or a Paraguacha? You could just go to Paraguay. They'll give you papers. In 2 years, you're a resident.
I'm sure it's a beautiful country.
It is. And they have, their incomes is better than many U.S. cities. Like, they have better incomes than a lot of U.S. cities. When I first moved to Bradenton, this gas station here used to be open. Look at this now. I remember the first time I saw this gas station, it was for one of our videos, and it was just full of life. Look at this now. It's so sad to see this. And you got all the garbage from all the homeless people, and you got potholes big enough to swallow a human. These potholes are insanely bad. I mean, from what this used to be when I first moved to Bradenton to where it is now, it's really sad what has happened to this little corner. This corner, they fixed it up, and now there's a food truck, so at least this corner's looking better. And you got the Habibi guys across the street. They're pretty cool. I love their food. And then this little taco truck right here, I come here at night to get agua frescas, and they got so many homeless people, you can't even get out. The moment you get out, you got people panhandling and demanding money and stuff. So I like their food, but I don't go there because every time you go there, You got like always homeless people, like flies on a turd, man. They're just all over you asking for stuff. Lake Hood Ranch. Pero aquí sí hay agüita de melón. So refreshing on a hot day. This right here on a hot day, that's what's up. Agüita de melón. As we sit here in traffic, we contemplate renting down this road. Or not. Excuse me, sir, do you have your papers? I think the only thing that could really save Bradenton, and it's not that bad, I think, whatever people are moving out, it isn't catastrophic. I feel like eventually, it'll be absorbed, both the people that lost their jobs and the rents that are vacant. It'll all eventually be absorbed. It isn't a catastrophic thing. It's not a good thing, but it's not catastrophic. It's catastrophic for the people that moved here with the intentions of, they got their. Can you imagine? You get your work permit, you get your driver's license. In 6 months, you can go to a court here and you hopefully get your residency. All that turns into now you have to leave. You have no papers, no license. What a nightmare for those people. I mean, you can be in the United States paying $1,800 a month to live in a rat-infested, roach-infested ghetto, or for $700 a month, you can be in Parawai learning how to speak with a Parawaian accent. All you would have to do is change your accent. You wouldn't even have to learn. You don't even have to learn another language. By the way, notice that there's a truck for sale there on the left, right? There's trucks for sale everywhere now. Everybody's selling their work permit. Dude, you don't even have to learn another language. All you have to do is move to Parawai, and in 2 years, you're a Paraguayo. Would you like to be a Paraguayo, Katie? I love this freaking house right here.
I don't know.
I love both of them, but this castle right here, I'm always fascinated by the castle house. Food stamps, or food pantry, I'm sorry. Yep. You wouldn't want to be a Paraguayan?
Maybe. I don't know.
They have orcas.
What?
Yeah, it's at the bottom of the map, right? They have orcas, right? Or are they landlocked? I'm not
I thought it was landlocked.
I'm not sure. But anyways, Parawai, all you have to do to move to Parawai is just in 2 years you're a resident, and in 4 years you're a citizen. They want you to integrate their. If you move there, the only thing they do require you have to speak.
Landlocked.
Let me see. Are they really? Oh dang, you're between Bolivia. I see this Asuncion place. There's a lot of Cubans that live there already. Yo, but you're right next to Argentina though.
Where they do have orcas.
Okay, look, it's right on the border, the main city, Asuncion, where all the Cubans are. You're next to Santa Catalina in Brazil. Dude, this would be an awesome place to live. Look,
Yeah.
you're right next to Santa Catalina, which
Yeah.
is like the best place in Brazil. You're next to Uruguay, which, by the way, Uruguay, the city of their capital city's incomes are higher than like Montevideo, Uruguay. Their average income, if they were a county in Florida, they would be the 8th richest county in Florida if they were a county in Florida.
Wow.
Yeah. Buenos Aires, Argentina, that would be a cool place to live.
It really would.
And I'm sure you can flow free. Like, you could be between Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay. You got 4 countries you can go in and out. And Chile's probably not far from there. I'm sure the trek to the mountains will be a nightmare, but imagine that, dude. You got Santa Catalina, Paraguay, Uruguay, and all that right there, dude. Like, and they have, and it's safer than the United States. Okay, their homicide rate is like a quarter of the United States. You're 4 times more likely to be a victim of a homicide in the United States than you are in those countries. They're super safe places to live. The only inconvenience is that their food is really bland. And their music is cool too. They listen to it's like a cumbia meets reggae, but slow down. Wanna hear it? Alright, I'll play it for you. You're probably like, no, I'm not interested in hearing it. No, you'll like it. You'll like it. Let me see if we can let's find some here. Agüita de melón. Agüita de melón. This traffic is unreal. Laundromat coming soon. That's not a good sign. If a laundromat's moving into your neighborhood, things
Oh
aren't looking.
boy, that's about to be
That's
Wow.
yeah, and all the homeless people around here. That's gonna attract a lot of homeless people. Actually,
Yep.
think about
You've
that.
already got this abandoned that always has homeless people.
I'm gonna play some Parawai music for you. See if you like it. I'm ready to move to Parawai. It's safer than the United States. Our YouTube income, we could be like kings down there with our YouTube income. We would make more money than doctors and lawyers down there.
Oh, wow.
We could be like King Jose and King Catherine. I could retire, buy a little cottage on the side of a hill, start making little Paraguayan babies. With you.
Yes.
The crap does that look about? That look
So
was,
what are
was
we
a very angry.
how
that
are
was
we
a-
going to convince our parents to move there with us?
I don't care about them. They're old. She gave me like this evil look, like, with you. Like, I don't know what the crap you were doing. Yeah, buddy! Estás partido! Estás partido, mijo! Estás suelto! Estás partido! Estás partido! Estás partido, mijo!
That is some swagger right there.
I don't think that's swagger. I think that's more like cessed. I think that's a little cesty right there. A little cesty, buddy. No, that's more cessed. That's more cessed than swag. There's swag and there's cessed. That's cessed. The homie's cesty right there on that motorcycle.
Okay, how's that?
You don't think that's cesty?
I think he's trying to have fun.
With other guys. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is, to be honest with you. The homie's cesty.
I feel like we've seen
Probably somebody who watches our YouTube channel and they want to be on
saw
our
the
video.
truck.
Yeah, they want to be on our video. They want to be on
I
our
will
video.
be on camera
And
today.
then it's just like they didn't count for me throwing them. Because the only thing that they
That's
count
the
on.
first thing you should count
Yeah.
on with you.
Yeah, like they didn't count on me trolling them. That's like we're like, Jose, that's me on the motorcycle, buddy. I'm unsubscribing. Been following you for a long time. You messed this up real quick.
You messed it up.
Man, on a hot day like today, one of those watermelon drinks, it's like wow.
Yeah.
I had a blast today making these videos with you.
Yeah.
For a while, like we don't have to go far to make good videos.
No, we don't.
Here in Bradenton, there's plenty of entertainment right here, and
Yeah.
just one neighborhood over.
I've taken drives at 7 a.m. that are enlightening in Bradenton.
Bradenton is interesting. It's not as crazy as like when we first moved here.
Yeah.
It was like the Florida Man Olympics back then.
Oh my gosh. If I could find a place in Florida that is literally the Florida Man Olympics, I would definitely be there right now.
This guy just touched the semi out of his bicycle.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. Bradenton, it's calmed down a lot. It really has.
It has.
So like, ever since they started busting the fent dealers, the streets just haven't been the same. People have been more mellow and level-headed. It's not as exciting as it used to be, like when we first moved here, and it was like a complete clown show. Those were the good old days. That sheriff down there just got rid of all the fent dealers, turned this town to a boring place now, I tell you what. Used to be exciting out here. Yeah, they sure know how to be a party pooper down there. There's a party pooping right there. I tell you what's wrong with Bradenton, that party pooping sheriff down there that locked up all my homies. You wanna know what's wrong with Bradenton? Is that party pooping sheriff they got down there. Arresting all the fent dealers and hookers and homeless people. They done turned this into a nursing home. It used to be nice out here. You didn't even have to go to the circus. You could just go down to 14th Street. They'd have done ruined this town with all their police patrolling and all their drug arrests. It used to be a decent place to live out here. We might have to move to Titusville or something more decent now. Goodness, I hope our situation doesn't get that bad. I would rather live on Nico.
Oh my god, yeah.
You know, behind the train track down there than end up on damn Titusville down there. Yeah, buddy, you're going to be having to put up a lot of those signs here soon, buddy.